So just getting set up, making a new book, a new children's book. So this is about a mouse and a troll. This is my art desk. So I've written the story first because you always start by writing the story. Then I sketched out the pictures that go along with the story. So I focused on some frames that would demonstrate what's happening in the story. This is one that I've colored. So you have to pick a set of sentences that depict one image because your pictures tell the story as well as the story itself. So here I'm just looking through some of my drawings and deciding which ones I'm going to use. So this mouse is a little bit fatter than the one on the right, and I like the one on the right because it's cuter and smaller, and so I crossed out the prototype or the trial of the mouse on the left. So I often make the characters a few times at least so that I get familiar with what characteristics they have that I want to keep. So this is a nice mouse, but I did change his, and this one is as well, but I did decide to change his ears a little bit so that he looked more like a normal mouse. So here I am. I'm going to make some more drawings. Right now I'm still in the practicing stages of getting the right drawings for the book. I'm still working out the details. So I like these pencils because they're automatic pencils and they're very thin, but you also have to be careful not to press too hard because they do snap easily. But they give you a nice clean line. So here's the sun to start. I like a nice simple sun, and I always try to add it to the pictures. I like to use simple drawings, just depicting the basic elements of the art, and then after I've decided on the way it looks, then I trace over it with a pen that's waterproof so that when I finally paint it, it doesn't run. So this is really one of the early stages, but I have some nice lighting there. It's a full spectrum light bulb, so that has all the colors of the rainbow, including the deep blues and the purples in the spectrum that you normally don't get with a regular light bulb. It's supposed to be better for your eyes. So I keep working on the iterations of the drawing. I develop it by drawing it repeatedly, usually by 3 or 4 iterations. I know how I want it to look. But it's good to just keep drawing it until you're confident with all the elements of the pictures. Especially as you're learning It helps to make a few drafts at least. Even when you're writing a story, you're going to write at least 3 or 4 drafts to do the editing and to make sure that it all makes sense. So when you're drawing, you definitely need at least 3 or 4 iterations to let the story really come through the picture, to let your characters really begin to evolve and express the energy that you're trying to tie to them through the story. Because the story is telling one part of it, as I said earlier, but the pictures are telling another part of it, and they're really grabbing your audience's attention because they are the visual element. And so when you're you're seeing the visual element, you're gathering more information from the picture, from the image, and it helps to round out the story. It helps to make the story more of an experience rather than just a two-dimensional story. You really want the images to feel like they have some texture energetically, so that not only does the person read the story, but they can kind of understand the characters in the story and the elements of the story, so that it's more of a well-rounded experience. You want them to feel like they're in the story when they're reading it. So here I am drawing the bushes. I like the clean lines of a nice simple bush, the outline of a nice simple picture, nice simple element in a story. But yet, the character of the mouse is evident. You can see the innocence and the sweetness. And the purity of the mouse. Very simple lines. There are only very simple lines in this drawing. Yet it carries as much energy as possible, even with those simple lines. So here are my sketches again. The first sketch I'm going to do 4 versions of, so I can really have a look at the elements and if I want to change anything. And then once I finish all of the drawings for this book, I will tape it down and use watercolor for the final version. So it goes from pencil to like a special kind of art pen that's black with a narrow tip, and then the watercolor. So this is the first stage really of getting the artwork right. The sketches help me plot out the story. So here I'm showing you that practice makes perfect. So if I want to change it in any way, I can. Also, I have a few different drafts, so I can experiment with the watercolors, and I've got 4 different versions, so I can really get the watercolor right as well. So that'll be in one of the next videos. Thanks for watching.